Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an incredible day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Société Générale, one of France's largest banks, has successfully obtained France's first crypto license for their crypto division known as Forge. They have a crypto division which they are calling FORGE. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain outside once again. It is actually partially hail, but I don't know if you can hear it like slamming against the window. Over the last few years, we have had very clear evidence that governments, banks, and institutions have been trying to get into the cryptocurrency space or they are already in the cryptocurrency space. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect or what's the other word? People are desensitized. I don't know if that, applies to the actual meaning here. But we are constantly getting very good news within the cryptocurrency space as far as adoption. Years ago, one of the main ideas was that crypto would be separated from the original financial system and or banks as well, that they would not want to get into it. But now people seem to have openly embraced the idea of banks and institutions and governments getting into crypto, because it usually logically would mean that prices would move a lot higher if we start hearing news or get actual numbers of how much a bank is holding. If a bank is holding a lot, smaller banks would begin to buy up as well, etc., etc. This is how the entire thing would flow. But for some reason, this is what I mean by the actual disconnect. A lot of people within crypto will explicitly hear that there are now around, I think it's like 7 or 8 different countries on the planet who are trading in Bitcoin. We have hundreds of banks who have announced that they're trying to get into the cryptocurrency sector. They're trying to have custody options for them. They want to be able to buy, sell, hold, and trade crypto, have cryptocurrency trading platforms. So you can see how far this has spread. This is no longer a niche thing. Crypto is clearly here to stay. But once every day, I am constantly, I want to use the word annoyed, but I'll throw the word flabbergasted in there by the amount of people who aren't paying attention or who don't think that these things are relevant in some sort of way. That the largest players on the planet are no longer playing around, and they're trying to make sure that they get all of their cryptocurrency licenses and that they're able to acquire and hold and have ETFs and other funds against it. This is no longer the idea of the 2017 move up in crypto where like people were, the mainstream finally got to it. This isn't even the 2021, because back then, all of these licenses and all of these companies and all of these banks and all of these countries were not openly in to crypto. We had ideas before that they might have been dabbling, but none as clear that they're actually into it. So upon the news that we keep getting every day, I am always perplexed as to how anyone within the cryptocurrency ecosystem could be confused as to the fact that this is going to be the largest market on the planet in just a couple of years. The latest development shows that SG Forge received their license on the 18th of July. As a result, the crypto division can now offer services such as buying and selling of digital assets and digital asset custody solutions in compliance with regulations. Custody solutions doesn't sound as exciting to a lot of people, I guess, but the idea is that in a world where anti-money laundering, know your customer rules exist, governments want cryptocurrency exchanges and also banks and institutions who are trying to get into the space to be able to basically track the money, and or also if you are a custody solution, you can usually act as a third party for the money going through you. So this is another like gigantic step when it comes to the forms of regulations. And never forget this: you as a bank cannot offer the buying of cryptocurrencies unless you are already holding. I think things seem more spectacular to people, of course, when we get numbers. We will hear that MicroStrategy has 149,000 million, Bitcoin, and everyone goes, wow, that's a number. We keep hearing that these banks are getting into it, and they're getting all of these regulatory licenses to be able to buy and sell. Selling being the more important one here, because they would be selling it to their customers. But no one seems to understand that that means that all of these banks are actively buying crypto. Here's the tweet for it right here. It says, Société Générale, the third largest bank in France, has been licensed to offer crypto services in the country, becoming the first company in France to receive this license. Additionally, it includes services related to the execution, reception, and transmission of third-party orders for digital assets. The banks basically want to, if I'm sending money to you, but people are choosing to go through a bank, or they're sending a crypto transaction through their bank account, you want to be the bank that's kind of in the middle to be able to transmit those things, because you get the fees that are associated with it being sent. There are several crypto companies registered with the AMF, including Binance. However, Société Générale's crypto division, Forge, has become the first company to obtain the license. Last month, Binance was accused of failing to comply with anti-money laundering and know your customer regulations within France. Binance has been accused of stuff like that for a number of, I want to say, years now. Here's my take on it if you care to hear. Similar to years ago with people saying that something, or that Coinbase was doing wrong, or that Ripple was doing something wrong, or this company was doing something terrible. I find it very hard to believe that these multi-billion-dollar companies would do anything to self-sabotage themselves in a market that could potentially be worth tens of trillions of dollars in the future. I find it difficult to believe that Binance, as the largest crypto exchange on the planet, would have made sure that they did not comply with the rules and regulations in France. This feels like another situation where the United States had been pressing hard for a while that something was wrong with Binance, something was wrong with Coinbase, something was wrong with Kraken, something's wrong with Gemini. And then we heard that Fidelity and BlackRock moved in, and of course they were, the Wunderkind, as it were, and they could simply do no wrong. A lot of countries right now are trying to launch their own cryptocurrency exchanges, and they're constantly announcing that Binance is doing something incorrect. And I think it's more of they want to openly announce that something is wrong with the original cryptocurrency exchanges so that their biggest banks can become crypto exchanges and everyone uses them and has more confidence in them. We've gone over that before. You and your friends and probably even your family members are far more likely to get into cryptocurrencies because of you. They'll ask you, where can I buy these coins? How do I get into the market? You tell them Coinbase, you tell them Kraken, you tell them Binance. What happens when 80 to 90% of all the people on the planet are using just those cryptocurrency exchanges, but banks now openly are announcing that they're also into crypto? You lie openly and you say, well, they didn't do what they needed to do for their license because they've been regulatorily incompliant for a very long time. But one of the banks that's been charging you tons of fees for a while, they are legal. You should be using them. You get the idea. There've been so many things within this space. I find it very hard to believe that Coinbase and Binance would have self-sabotaged at any point. Like, think of how big Binance is. Anyway, Yeah, the third largest bank in France has openly announced that they can now offer crypto services. We will at some point also hear when people in France begin using these services. This is not the only bank. There are hundreds of them right now who now have these licenses. And I assume that they're now building their websites or portions of the websites that they already have to actually be able to offer these services to a lot of people. So in the future, your family members who choose to only use their bank account or the bank that they've been using for a number of years will essentially be able to have a bank account where one side is in US dollars, or I almost said francs. Wow, what year is this? Or euros. And then the other side will also have it in crypto, similar to what PayPal has right now. We are in the future. Understand that crypto is not only here to stay, it is going to take over the world. And I only question how people in crypto still don't seem to understand this. That's the crypto in France news. And yeah, let's move on. Also nope, this definitely already happened. In the wake of a significant legal victory against the SEC, Ripple, the renowned crypto payments giant, has set its sights on securing coveted spots on the UK's crypto company registry. The firm's European managing director, Cindy Young, revealed to, it's called DL News. I'm not sure why someone would choose that as a name. Yeah, it's called DL News. That they have recently submitted applications for crypto asset firm registration with the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, or the FCA, along with a payment institution license in Ireland. So we're on the Ripple train nearly every single day, and the words not lightly struggle to understand, but I'm trying to find my words and it's very difficult. A lot of people keep releasing news about things that Ripple has already done, or that things that are currently happening with Ripple, the company, as if these things are brand new, spectacular. No one's ever heard of them before. The last couple of videos, there's been a lot of Ripple and XRP news. I understand, of course, that people are excited about the ruling of the lawsuit, but people keep acting as if that the current happenings right now are only taking place because of the winning of the lawsuit, if that makes any sense to you. We've had news about what Ripple, the company, has been doing for years now, despite the lawsuit. And nearly everything has been absolutely fantastic. They're working with tons of countries to build central bank digital currencies on top of the XRP blockchain. They're working with tons of companies who are also buying huge amounts of XRP. But a lot of the news that gets released now is like, because of the winning of the lawsuit, now Ripple is trying to do this. And it's like, no, you're all just paying attention now, but they've been doing this for a very long time. They've been doing all of this for the last couple of years. And to even show you, so this news story is basically about that because of the winning of the lawsuit in the United States, which makes no sense. I told you, regardless of what would happen in the United States, Ripple is still a company that already exists in other countries around the world. They're already doing worldwide business. They have not decided to expand to other countries because they, beat the SEC. They've been doing this for a while. For those of you not looking at the screen, this is another article. And if you look really close, the article is from the 18th of November, 2022. It says Ripple sets sights on expansion into Europe with Ireland registration. They've been doing this already. The amount of news that's popping up about what Ripple is doing and how they're now doing it because of what's happening is a complete lie. They are, of course, they're still doing stuff even after the lawsuit. Of course, they're a business. They're trying to make more money. But they've been trying to expand into Ireland and Europe for a while now. We got this in the winter after we had news in last summer that they had already expanded into the UAE. They're doing business in Dubai and I believe in Abu Dhabi. I believe that is the other place. They're doing business in Africa and in Southeast Asia and in portions of Latin America. That all already happened last year. So the news that now that they're trying to get this license is, yeah, you know. But it just more. I'm showing you this as a. I am glad that people are optimistic that things are happening with Ripple and XRP. But I worry about the idea of it. It's similar to the third largest bank in France news. No one seems to pay attention until they're told to pay attention. We hear that all these banks are buying up all the Bitcoin and all the other crypto, and I can assure you right now, they are not buying Tron, they are not buying Pepe, they're not buying any other crappy coins. They're buying the largest coins that we have on the market. And when these coins become too unobtainable in price for normal people, that's when the vast majority of people in crypto and out of crypto will pay attention. But at that point, it's basically already too late. The same exact thing with the Ripple stuff. People have been paying attention, or rather, a small fraction of people in crypto paid attention to all the Ripple and XRP news over the last couple of years. They are going to be the ones who benefit when the price does a 5 or 10x from where it currently is right now, because they've been accumulating over the last couple of years. The amount of people who only started accumulating XRP after the ruling was wild. You saw what they were doing before. Did you think that only the United States would be the precursor for them, like actually? Anyway, the news is, yeah, Ripple's been doing a lot for the last couple of years, but there's a continual avalanche of Ripple news that already kind of took place, and or people are surprised that they're, you know, still doing stuff. That's the Ripple news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, Binance has completed their 24th quarterly burn. They burned 1.9 million Binance tokens. The development, carried out every 3 months, should help the company reduce the overall supply of the coin. There were originally 200 million. They're trying to get it to 100 million. There are also rumors that they may continue the burn even after they get to 100 million. I'm not too completely sure about that, simply because I think at a certain point there would not be enough Binance coin, but they may have aspirations of trying to get it to around 21 million, similar to Bitcoin. This is another major reason why Binance coin's price continues to like rise the way that it does. It's because of the constant burn and the idea that there will always be less and less Binance coin. This is similar to XRP. This is similar to Ethereum. And does Cardano burn? I don't think Cardano burns. There are a number of very popular coins out there that have some type of a coin burn. This always makes popular news. It's this and layoff news. Still don't know why layoff news is so popular, but alas, here we are. So, and also, oh yeah, we haven't had any real news about Shiba Inu burn in a while. That was a weird time in history. Shiba Inu news was there every single day, and it was constantly just talking about how many coins had been burned, as if it was like the craziest thing ever that like 35 million coins had been burned. But yeah. I think this is also the same. Yep. It says Binance completes their 24th quarterly burn, 1.99 million tokens burned. It happens all the time. They will continue to do so. But it's also Binance news. So, you know, of course, it's going to be popular. Yeah. Let's move on. In, once again, water is wet news. A written document, it says written evidence document, wow, submitted by Ripple to the United Kingdom Parliament discusses the potential benefits of XRP and other crypto assets to the United Kingdom government. I know that a lot of, believe me, I know, because I can tell by the way that people talk. I know that a lot of people are brand new here. Hello to you if you are relatively new. And I even give you a good 1.5 to 2-year time frame. I think a lot of people are being introduced to Ripple and XRP because of the SEC lawsuit ruling. I'm sure a lot of people got text messages and calls like I did. I was away, got a text message that they won the lawsuit, and I was like, why am I not home? So I think a lot of people were introduced to Ripple and XRP because of the hype of the winning of the lawsuit. Why I say that people are relatively new here is because I think that a lot of the people who've been here for a while, they hear news like this and they go, well, yeah. The original point of XRP back in good old 2015, 2016 was that this was a coin that was meant to be regulatorily compliant. The idea is as back then, Bitcoin transactions were anonymously pseudonymous in that no one could back then track them. We didn't have Glassnode, we didn't have Santiment, we didn't have, I think it's called on the chain, I don't know what they're called. Oh no, on the block. That's the other one. That's what they're called. The idea was that in the future, people or governments would want a coin that they could basically trust, if you can say that. Bitcoin's original theme song is no longer the same. It was anti-government, it was anti-bank, it was don't touch me unless you are in the mood for decentralization. Nearly all of that has disappeared with new people moving into the market. They buy Bitcoin just to make money. We know that banks and governments are not into Bitcoin because they're like, yeah, decentralization for the people. No, we're getting the rumors of Bitcoin going to $1 million. And therefore, that's where that's coming from. The idea originally for XRP was to be used by banks. This is why there's another coin called Stellar Lumens, which I'm sure not many of you have heard of if you are relatively new here. It was made as a copycat of XRP. Don't say that it wasn't. I've been here through all of this. Put your hand down because I know exactly what I'm talking about. It was made as a copycat of XRP, but didn't have the same amount of usage. One of their main things, and I'm sure there's like a time machine for it as well. They have like online time machines where you can like see what websites used to look like years and years ago. And the Stellar Lumens website said the exact same thing as the XRP website. They were meant to be used by banks as a payment method. So around the time that we heard between 2014 and 2017 that a large number of banks, governments, and institutions and rich people had allegedly begun to get into the cryptocurrency space, XRP's popularity began to skyrocket because the idea was if crypto is going to take off and banks are continuously stuck up as they still are, they would look for a cryptocurrency that they could use in this way. And XRP moved to the front of the line. And this is where a lot of the original lies and tension between Bitcoin maximalists and XRP had begun to pop up. Bitcoin began to move up very rapidly in price. And people assumed that this was because that the world was shifting gears and everyone was like, yeah, decentralization. And then we got to the point where XRP's price had risen so high, if it had doubled one more time in price, it would have become the number one coin. This was a destruction of the idea of what Bitcoin stood for. And if you were here a number of years ago, you remember a lot of it. So now there's apparently documents and evidence that Ripple, the company, is in discussions with the UK Parliament and government. And this should come as no surprise because they've probably been doing this for a number of years. When I talk about how big Ripple, the company, actually is and how they've continued to expand, these things only, I think, shock and surprise people who don't understand how big that they actually are as a company. So a lot of people hear stuff like this and they go, wow, that's crazy. And it's like, no, they've been doing this for at least 5, 6, 7, 8 years at this point. It says, despite a case of growing prominence, the adoption of cryptocurrencies has faced hurdles in countries like the UK due to regulatory and environmental concerns. To this end, Ripple submitted a written evidence document to the UK Parliament discussing the benefits of XRP and crypto within the country. In a recent tweet, Edward Farina, head of social adoption at XRP Healthcare. Okay. Called the attention of the XRP community to the document, highlighting its prominence in the grand scheme. And here's the tweet right here. And here's the written evidence submitted by Ripple Labs as well. It's great. It's wonderful, but it's something that's also been going on for quite a long amount of time. It's just that people are now waking up to the fact that Ripple has been doing all this stuff for a number of years. How do you think you get regulatorily compliant in the United Arab Emirates? Do you think you just walk through the door and go, okay, we live here now? Or do you think you have to shake a lot of hands? A lot of people have to know you. Like, you have to, So anyway, it's nice to see that people are becoming aware of this news. It is abundantly clear that Ripple and XRP are going to do absolutely swimmingly in the future. I still am confused, same exact way, but maybe I'm just meant to be confused. There's so many people who just don't understand how big that this is, and people still carry so much of the lies with them that they had back in 2017. Maybe it makes them feel comforted in some sort of way to continue lying to themselves about how big this company actually is and what they're doing and how far they've expanded around the world. But once again, it's going to be another one of those situations where when XRP hit $7, $8, and $9, the same exact people who hate on it, who said it's going to go nowhere, who are still buying Stellar Lumens, is that a thing? They're going to start buying XRP, telling all their other friends how much money they made in XRP. And that's how the same, it's just how the loop goes. The same thing happened for Bitcoin. People talk negatively about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price starts going up too high. They buy a fraction of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price continues to go up. They tell their friends how much money they made in Bitcoin. That's just the normal cycle, it seems. That's the Ripple has been talking with the UK government news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news is the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, will begin offering full services for Japanese users in August. This was said by Changpeng Cao during a conference in Tokyo on Tuesday. The announcement follows Binance's acquisition of Sakura Exchange Bitcoin, SEBC, in an undisclosed deal last November. For those of you who want to know one of the easiest ways to become regulatorily compliant, you buy up a company. It says this is fairly normal. Basically, people in the stock market have done this for a number of years as well. If you are trying to get into another market, or let's say you want to expand into China, you want to expand into Latin America, and you want to expand into Uganda, you find a company that has all of these licenses and you buy them. By default, you own them, and therefore you also own the licenses. Japan has always, at least years ago, been a very large player within the cryptocurrency space. I told you this towards the beginning of the year. We are probably going to see Japan and South Korea take over the cryptocurrency market all over again. A couple of months ago, we had another price premium, as it were, in South Korea when it came to Bitcoin's price. Both South Korea and Japan now have proper cryptocurrency regulations, something they did not explicitly have back in 2020 and 2021, which caused a lot of the volume for what was going into the cryptocurrency market to kind of be skewed to the other side. We are entering a market where the largest banks and the largest institutions and the countries that control the cryptocurrency market before and basically favored XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are going to have proper regulations. And these people within the countries are going to be empowered knowing that they can enter the market legally. Back in 2018, it was South Korea and Japan and a number of other places who announced that they were thinking of banning Bitcoin and or slowing down or stopping the cryptocurrency market. All of that went away, and the news that we have now is that they have proper regulation. So please get ready for that. Understand that. There are going to be certain coins that are going to be pumping because there are certain coins that are favored by certain portions of the world. SEBC is regulated by Japan's Financial Services Agency, or the FSA, meaning the acquisition enables the crypto exchange to officially re-enter Japan. A Binance spokesperson told Decrypt in November that Japan has a huge potential in the emerging Web3 industry and is going to play a key role in the continued adoption of crypto. This was actually quite popular news. I think it's more so because the word Binance was there, and people who've been here long enough understand what it means for Japan to, I think there are only 14 or 15 coins that are actually allowed within Japan by their regulatory services. They basically said the other, in no uncertain terms, the other coins might be scams or they are garbage, and therefore only these coins are allowed. So these will be the ones that will end up pumping. I'm always here just to make sure that you get proper cryptocurrency news and you understand exactly what's going on. I tried to make it as unhypey as possible so that you really pay attention to the real news of where the real money is moving around the market. Because it's quite exciting that we are once again entering this very bullish phase. It will last for 1.5 to 2 years, and I want to make sure that you're all prepared for it. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See